Your journey to becoming a Roman soldier starts long before you ever hold a sword. Born into a poor family in a small town far from Rome, you are just another farmer's son with big dreams. Unlike the rich senator's kids who get everything handed to them, you have to fight for every chance you get. As a boy, your life is simple but hard. You wake up before sunrise to help your family on their tiny farm. You feed the animals, plant crops, and work until your hands are rough and your back aches. But while you work, your mind wanders to something much bigger. Around evening fires, old soldiers tell stories about the mighty Roman legions. They talk about battles won, enemies crushed, and glory earned on distant battlefields. These stories light a fire inside you. Every tale makes you want more than this small farm life. You dream of wearing Roman armor, carrying the eagle standard, and marching with thousands of other soldiers. You want to be part of something greater than yourself. When you finally come of age, you make the biggest decision of your life. You leave your village behind and walk to the nearest Roman military camp. Your heart pounds as you approach the gates where real legionaries stand guard. These men look tough and battle-hardened. Their armor bears scars from real fights, and their eyes have seen things you can only imagine. The recruitment process is brutal. Roman officers check every part of your body for strength and health. They test your mind with questions and challenges. They want to make sure you can handle what's coming. Many young men are sent home, but you pass every test. Then comes the moment that changes everything. You swear the sacramentum, the sacred oath that binds you to Rome forever. From this second, you are no longer just a farmer's son. You are a Roman soldier, a guardian of the greatest empire the world has ever seen. They give you a small signing bonus, your first real money, though most of it goes right back for your gear and food. Your training begins immediately, and it's harder than anything you've ever done. Every day starts before dawn with trumpet blasts that jolt you awake. You march for miles carrying heavy packs that make your shoulders burn. You learn that being a Roman soldier means more than just fighting. You build roads, construct camps, and create fortifications. Romans don't just conquer, but they build civilization wherever they go. Combat training pushes you to your limits. They give you wooden weapons that are heavier than real ones to build your strength. Hour after hour, you practice sword work until your arms feel like they're going to fall off. You master formations like the testudo, the turtle formation where shields lock together to protect everyone from enemy arrows. You learn to throw javelins with deadly accuracy and fight as one unit with your brothers. But the most important part isn't the weapons or the marching, it's the brotherhood. You're assigned to a contubernium, a group of 8 men who become your family. You eat together, sleep together, and share everything. These men will have your back in battle, and you'll have theirs. You cook meals over campfires, tell stories from home, and support each other through the hardest days. Daily life in the Legion follows strict rules that have made Rome unstoppable for centuries. You gather at the Principia for orders, maintain your equipment until it shines, and follow traditions that connect you to every Roman soldier who came before you. Discipline isn't just about punishment, it's about becoming part of a machine that never breaks. As months pass, you transform from a scared farm boy into a real Roman legionary. Your muscles grow stronger, your reflexes get faster, and your confidence builds. You learn the pride that comes from wearing Roman armor and carrying Roman weapons. You understand what it means to be part of the greatest military force in history. The training never stops. Even experienced soldiers practice their skills daily because they know that in battle there's no second place. You drill with different weapons, learn siege tactics, and study the strategies that have conquered most of the known world. Every day prepares you for the moment when you'll face real enemies in real combat. Life in the Legion demands everything from you. Your body gets pushed to its limits. Your mind must stay sharp under pressure. You give up the freedom to go where you want and do what you want. But in return, you get something most people never find: a real purpose, true brotherhood, and the chance to be part of Rome's destiny. You're no longer that poor farm boy dreaming by the fire. You're a Roman soldier, trained to fight, built to win, and ready to face whatever enemies dare to challenge the power of Rome. Your real adventures are just beginning, and the empire is counting on you to keep its borders safe and its enemies defeated. This is your life as a Roman soldier, where ordinary men become legendary warriors, where brotherhood is forged in blood and sweat, and where every day brings you closer to the glory that awaits on distant battlefields. The decision to enlist. The morning sun rises slowly over your village, painting the dirt paths and rooftops in golden light. You've just finished feeding the goats and gathering eggs. The same routine. The same aching muscles. Day after day, the work never changes. You know these fields like the back of your hand, every stone, every weed, every patch of dry soil. But what once felt familiar now feels like a trap. You hear the same voices each day, your mother humming as she kneads bread, your father grumbling about the weather, the neighbors arguing about whose cow got loose again. It's safe, it's quiet, but it's not enough. At night you sit by the fire and listen to an old man named Gaius, a veteran of the legions, who tells tales of war in Dacia, of riding through forests and standing in formation beneath a sky filled with arrows. His voice shakes with age, but his eyes still shine with pride. He shows you his scarred arm and laughs like the pain doesn't matter. "I was just a nobody like you," he says, looking at you with a knowing smirk. "Then I put on Roman armor, and the world opened up." Those words stick with you. The next morning, you tell your father you're leaving. He says nothing at first, just stares. Then quietly, he nods. He knows this town can't hold you. Your mother hugs you tight, slipping a little food into your pack. You promise to write, though you know letters are rare and hard to send. With only a small sack over your shoulder and sandals worn thin, you begin walking. The nearest military outpost is 3 days away. You sleep under the stars, drink from streams, and eat dried bread. The road is long and your feet ache, but your heart feels light for the first time in years. On the 3rd day, you see it. A Roman fort, tall wooden walls and sharp towers rising from the hills. Legionaries stand at the gates, armored and alert. Their eyes watch every movement, every stranger who approaches. You feel small, weak, but you step forward. A guard stops you. "State your name and reason for coming." "I want to join the legions," you say, trying to keep your voice steady. He nods and sends you to a small tent, where a tired-looking officer sits behind a wooden table. He doesn't smile. He just looks you up and down. "Name, age, can you read, write, swing a hammer? What do your parents do? Any diseases, any injuries?" He writes everything down on a scroll and then waves you out to another tent for inspection. You strip down while a grim-looking doctor pokes and prods you. "Good teeth," he mutters. "Strong legs, no hunch." You pass. Later, another officer reads you the terms of enlistment. 25 years. You'll go wherever Rome sends you. You'll follow orders without question. In return, you'll get regular pay, food, clothing, and maybe, if you live long enough, land and a pension. You nod, then you swear the sacramentum. It's a short oath, but it feels heavy. You promise to obey, to never abandon your post, to protect Rome with your life. You are now a recruit. They hand you a few coins, your bonus. It feels like a fortune, but by the end of the day, most of it is gone. You're issued sandals, a tunic, a belt, and a rough sleeping mat. The rest will come after training. That night, you sleep in a tent with other new recruits. Some look excited. Some look terrified. One is already snoring. You lie awake, staring at the canvas above you, wondering what comes next. And so your journey begins, not as a hero, not as a legend, but as a poor farm boy who dared to dream bigger. Tomorrow the training starts, but tonight you are part of something new. You are no longer just a boy from a dusty village, you are now a piece of Rome's great machine. And whether you rise or fall, your story has already begun. Arrival at training camp. The first morning as a Roman recruit is nothing like home. Before the sun rises, a loud horn blasts through the camp. You jolt awake, still wrapped in your blanket, barely remembering where you are. Around you, other recruits scramble to sit up, rubbing sleep from their eyes. The air is cold. Your breath hangs like smoke. A centurion storms into the tent. "On your feet! Out now!" You throw on your tunic and rush outside. The ground is still damp with morning dew. Recruits from all over the empire stand in confused, crooked lines. Some are from the cities, some from tiny villages like yours. Some speak Latin well, others barely at all. The centurion walks past slowly, glaring. This is the best Rome has to offer? Pathetic. Straighten up, shoulders back, eyes forward. You're not children anymore. You're soldiers, or you will be if you survive. Training begins immediately. The first weeks are the hardest. You march until your feet blister. You dig trenches under the hot sun until your hands bleed. You carry heavy loads, build wooden structures, tear them down, and rebuild them again. No one tells you why, you just obey. You learn quickly, never speak unless spoken to, never question an order, never fall behind. The food is plain, bread, beans, porridge, but it's warm and it keeps you going. You eat fast, clean up fast, sleep fast. Every minute is accounted for. Every hour has a task. The weapons come next. They give you a wooden gladius, heavier than the real thing, and a massive shield that feels like it weighs more than you do. You train in pairs, slashing, blocking, stepping, shouting, over and over until your muscles scream. The instructors are brutal. One day, you drop your sword from exhaustion. The centurion doesn't say a word. He just orders you to dig a hole, waist deep. When you're done, he tells you to fill it in. Then dig it again. "That sword is your life," he growls. "If you drop it in battle, you're already dead. You never drop it again." They test everything, your speed, your strength, your endurance, and your willpower. Some days you run until your legs shake. Other days you carry stones for hours. When one man collapses, no one helps. The centurion steps over him and yells for the rest of you to keep going. Some quit. They pack up and go home in shame. But you stay. You begin to understand that training isn't just about strength. It's about obedience, endurance, and mental toughness. Rome doesn't want just fighters. It wants machines, soldiers who can march all day and still fight at night, men who follow orders without hesitation, warriors who feel fear but don't run. One evening, after a long day of training, your contubernarium sits around a dying fire. You're too tired to talk. One man stares at the flames, another sharpens his sword, another bandages his feet. You don't need to speak. You've all bled together. That's enough. Weeks turn into months. They teach you more than just combat. You learn how to build a proper camp with defenses. You learn how to navigate using the stars. You learn how to cook rations so they last longer. You even learn a little bit of medicine, how to wrap wounds, stop bleeding, treat a fever. Rome trains its soldiers to survive anything. There are moments when you almost break. One night, rain pours down so hard the tents collapse. You spend hours standing in mud, soaked to the bone, shivering and sleepless. Another day, a recruit gets heat stroke during a desert drill. He collapses, shaking. The medics rush in. He survives barely, but those who remain become stronger, leaner, sharper. You can now form up in seconds. You move as one unit. Shields up, gladi out. When a centurion yells an order, the entire cohort moves like a single beast. The first time you see your reflection in your polished shield, you barely recognize yourself. The sun-darkened skin, the hardened muscles, the stern eyes. You're not the same boy who left that little village. Sometimes, during rare breaks, you catch a moment of peace, a warm meal shared with your unit, a joke that makes everyone laugh, a letter from home, if you're lucky. Those moments keep you going. Then one day, the centurion lines you all up. Today, you stop being recruits, he says. Today, you are soldiers of Rome. He tosses each of you a proper tunic, a gladius, a helmet, and a bronze plate for your chest. You hold them like treasure. You put on the armor slowly, almost reverently. It fits, not just on your body, but on your spirit. You walk differently now. You feel it in your bones. You're no longer pretending. You are a Roman soldier. You stand with your brothers, your contubernium, your new family. The centurion looks you over one last time. Tomorrow you begin real service. And out there, the world is cruel. But remember this, Rome forged you. You are harder than iron, stronger than fear. You are what makes this empire great. He walks away. You don't cheer, you don't shout. You just stand there in silence. And in that silence you feel something deep and powerful settle in your chest. Purpose. Your next orders will come soon. Maybe a frontier in Gaul, maybe a posting in Britannia. Wherever it is, you're ready. You have become more than just a man. You are part of a legion, and the world will learn what it means to face Rome. Your bone-tired, legs screaming from days on the road, dust cakes your sandals, and your pack feels like it's crushing your spine. The Danube glints in the distance, cold and uncaring. Then you see it, Carnuntum's fort, a beast of stone and wood squatting on the hill. Towers stab the sky, and legionaries glare down like they're sizing you up for a coffin. The gates loom, iron teeth ready to swallow you whole. This ain't your village, this is Rome's fist. You stumble forward with a ragtag pack of recruits. Some kid from Gaul mutters a prayer. Another, a wiry guy from Syria, grips his pack like it's his mum. The guards at the gate don't even blink. Name, origin, move it. You choke out your name, voice cracking like a kid's. They shove you through and the fort's insides hit you like a slap. Barracks sprawl in neat rows. Smoke curls from workshops. The clang of hammers and shouts of men drown out your thoughts. It's chaos, but it's chaos with a plan. A centurion storms up, face like chewed leather. His vine stick swings like he's itching to crack skulls.
"Line up, you sorry dogs! Straighten your backs or I'll break 'em!" You scramble into place, heart slamming your ribs. The guy next to you smells like fear and onions. The centurion paces, eyes slicing through you. You think you're soldiers? You're worms. Rome's gonna grind you down and see what's left. His sneer says most of you won't make it.
They herd you to a tent, canvas sagging like it's as beat as you are. Inside, 7 other recruits wait, your new contubernium, your tent mates. There's Lucius, a cocky Roman with a smirk that screams trouble. Gaius, a Greek with twitchy fingers, looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. A hulking Spaniard, Marcus, just grunts. The rest are a blur of tired eyes and dirty tunics. You nod, too shy to talk. These guys are your brothers now, or your pallbearers. The tent smells like sweat and mildew. You get a straw mat, thin as a whisper, and a blanket that's more holes than wool. You drop your pack, and your shoulders scream, "Hallelujah." Lucius tosses you a water skin. Drink fast, farm boy, they don't wait. His grin's half friendly, half mocking. You take a swig, water tasting like leather and grit. Outside, a trumpet blares sharp enough to wake the dead. Dawn's barely a smudge when the horn rips you awake. You roll off your mat, heart pounding like a war drum. The tent's freezing, your breath a ghost in the air. Gaius curses, fumbling his sandals. Marcus is already up, silent as a cat. You stumble outside, tunic half on, into a world of mud and shouting. Recruits swarm like ants, their faces pale under the torchlight. The centurion's there, vine stick tapping his palm like a threat. "Move, maggots!" he roars. You're shoved into a line, boots sinking into the muck. The camp's alive, fires crackle, mules bray, and the air's thick with the stench of smoke and horse dung. Your first task? Dig a latrine. You grab a shovel, the handle biting your blistered hands. The ground's hard as iron, each scoop a battle. Lucius laughs, digging like it's a game. Better this than the whip, eh? You don't laugh, your arms burn already.
Hours pass, your hands bleed, blisters popping like grapes. The centurion stalks by, barking at anyone slowing down. "Dig like you mean it! You'll sleep in this pit if it ain't done!" Gaius drops his shovel, panting. The centurion's on him in a flash, vine stick cracking across his back. Gaius bites his lip, no cry. You keep digging, eyes down. Lesson 1. Don't be the guy who breaks.
They feed you at noon, bread hard as a brick, beans swimming in greasy broth. You sit on the ground, dirt sticking to your sweat. Marcus tears his bread like he's killing it. Lucius tells a dumb story about a girl back home, all swagger and lies. Gaius just eats, eyes on the horizon. You listen, chewing slowly. The food's plain, but it's fuel. You're starving, and it's the best meal you've had in weeks. Training starts for real now. They hand you a wooden sword, heavy as a log, and a shield that could crush a mule. "Swing!" the instructor screams. You swing, arms shaking, the sword smacking your leg. Pain flares. Lucius nails it, smirking like he was born with a blade. "Keep up, farm boy." You grit your teeth and swing again. The shield's a monster, dragging your arm down. You're fighting it more than the enemy. The instructor shows you the testudo, turtle style, shields locked like a human fortress. You line up, shoulder to shoulder, Marcus. His bulk steadies you, but Gaius fumbles, leaving a hole. "Arrows would gut you now," the centurion snaps. You drill again, sweat stinging your eyes, shields slamming together. The rhythm's brutal. Step, lock, step. Your legs wobble, but you don't fall. Not today. Night comes and the camp quiets. You collapse in the tent, every muscle screaming. Lucius is polishing his gear, humming some tavern song. Marcus sharpens a knife, slow and steady. Gaius stares at nothing, clutching a charm from home. You lie on your mat, the straw poking your back. The tent's canvas flaps and the fire outside spits sparks. You wonder if you're tough enough for this. They say tomorrow's worse, marching miles with a pack that'll break your soul. You close your eyes, the centurion's voice still echoing in your head. You're worms. Rome's gonna grind you, but something's shifting in you. These guys, Lucius with his mouth, Marcus with his silence, Gaius with his fear, they're starting to feel like home. And that's enough to keep you here. You drift off, the camp's heartbeat in your ears. Tomorrow, you'll march, you'll bleed, you'll learn what Rome demands. And whether you're ready or not, the Legion's got plans for you. The sun's barely up, and you're already sweating buckets. Your new armor, bronze plate, heavy belt, clanking helmet, feels like it's trying to crush you. The centurion's voice cuts through the dawn fog like a blade. "Form up, you lazy dogs. Time to march." You scramble into line, shoulder to shoulder with your contubernium. Lucius winks, cocky as ever. Marcus just grunts, adjusting his pack. Gaius looks like he might puke. You grip your shield, heart hammering, and try not to trip over your own feet. They load you down like a mule, your Sarsina pack stuffed with gear, blanket, cooking pot, tools, rations. It's 20 kilos, maybe more, digging into your shoulders. Add the shield, a wooden gladius, and 2 Pila javelins strapped to your back. You're carrying half your weight, and the centurion's eyeing you like he knows you'll crack. 30 kilometers today, worms. Move! The trumpet blares, and you're off, boots crunching the dirt outside Carnuntum's gates. The first steps aren't so bad. The road's flat, the air cool. You match the Legion's rhythm, left, right, left. The thud of boots echoes like a war drum. Lucius hums a tavern tune, earning a glare from the Optio pacing alongside. The Danube glitters to your left, its banks thick with reeds. You imagine looking tough, a real Roman soldier. Then the pack starts biting. Your shoulders burn, your spine creaks. The fantasy dies quick. Hours crawl by. The road turns to mud, sucking at your sandals. Each step's a fight to pull free. Your calves scream, blisters blooming on your heels. Gaius stumbles, his shield dragging. You grab his arm, hauling him up before the centurion notices. "Thanks," he mutters, eyes down. The Optio's vine stick twirls in his hand, a warning. Fall behind, and you'll feel it. You grit your teeth and keep moving. The centurion sets a brutal pace. "Faster!" he barks.
You're not just walking, you're marching in formation, shields up, Pila steady. The guy in front's sweat drips onto your face. Marcus, behind you, mutters something in Spanish, probably a curse. The pack straps carve red lines into your skin. You want to drop it just for a second. But you've seen what happens to quitters. Last week a recruit lagged.
The centurion made him carry 2 packs. He collapsed, gone the next day. Noon hits, and the sun's a hammer. Your tunic's soaked, sticking to your chest. The helmet traps heat, cooking your skull. You pass a village, locals staring from their huts. A kid points, wide-eyed. You try to stand taller, but your legs wobble. Lucius whispers, "Bet they think we're gods." You snort, but it helps. For a moment, you're not just a suffering grunt. You're Rome's might, marching to conquer. They let you rest, 10 minutes, no more. You collapse under a tree, pack still on. Gaius fumbles his water skin, spilling half. Marcus hands him his own, without a word. You gulp warm water, tasting dust. The bread they toss you is stale, but you wolf it down. Lucius steals a bite from Gaius, grinning. "Gotta be quicker, Greek." Gaius shoves him, half laughing. The centurion's whistle cuts through. "Up! March!" Back on the road, the world narrows. Step, breathe, step. Your blisters pop, blood slicking your sandals. The shield's edge digs into your arm. You focus on Lucius's back, his stupid tune stuck in your head. Anything to drown out the pain. The centurion chants cadence, his voice a whip. "Left, right, Rome's glory." You mumble along, voice hoarse. It's not about glory, it's about not falling. The terrain shifts, hills now steep and rocky. Your thighs burn climbing, knees buckling on the descent. A recruit ahead trips, his Pila clattering. The Optio's on him like a wolf, vine stick cracking. "Pick it up, fool!" The guy scrambles, face red. You keep your eyes forward, praying you don't screw up. Gaius is wheezing, his face pale. You nudge him. "Stay with me." He nods barely. The centurion halts you at a riverbank. "Cross it," he snaps. The water's shallow but freezing, biting your shins. You lock shields, forming a wedge to break the current. Marcus leads, steady as a boulder. You slip on a rock, water soaking your tunic. Gaius grabs your pack, keeping you upright. The far bank's a muddy mess, but you make it. The centurion doesn't praise you. He just points. "Keep moving." Dusk paints the sky bloody. Your legs are lead, your back a knot of pain. The fort's silhouette looms ahead, a promise of rest. But the centurion's not done. Double time, you groan, forcing a jog. Your pack bounces, gear clanging like a drunk blacksmith. Lucius curses, loud enough to earn a glare. You're too tired to care. The gates are close. You can taste freedom. You stagger into camp, legs shaking. The centurion lines you up, inspecting like your cattle.
Pathetic, he growls. But you didn't die. Tomorrow we do it again. You want to collapse, but you stand tall. They dismiss you and you limp to the tent. Marcus claps your shoulder, a rare nod. Lucius flops on his mat, moaning, I'm dead. Gaius just sits, staring at his bloody feet. You peel off your sandals, wincing. Your feet are raw, blisters like battle scars. You clean them, hands trembling.
The tent's quiet, just the crackle of a fire outside. Lucius passes around dried figs, stolen from who knows where. To surviving, he says, You take one, the sweetness a small mercy. Gaius finally speaks. How do we keep doing this? No one answers. You don't need to. Sleep calls, but your body's too sore to settle. You lie on your mat, the straw poking your ribs. The camp's sounds fade. Mules, hammers, distant laughs. You think of home, your mother's bread, your father's gruff voice. It feels like another life. Here, you're not that boy. You're a cog in Rome's machine, forged by pain and discipline. And you're starting to like it? Tomorrow's another march, more miles, more weight, more blood. The centurion's voice echoes in your head. Rome's glory. You're not sure about glory yet. But you know one thing. You're tougher than you were yesterday. And that's enough to keep you going. You close your eyes, the rhythm of the march still pulsing in your bones, the road's waiting, the legion's waiting, and whatever's next, you'll face it with your brothers by your side. The dawn horn rips you awake, your body still aching from yesterday's march. You roll off your straw mat, muscles screaming like they're plotting revenge. The tent's a mess, Lucius is snoring, Gaius fumbles his sandals, and Marcus is already lacing his boots, silent as a shadow. Outside the air's sharp, stinging your lungs. You grab your gear, heart pounding. Today's not about marching. Today you learn to kill. They herd you to a muddy field just outside Carnuntum's walls. The ground's scarred from countless boots, littered with straw dummies that look like they've taken a beating. The centurion's there, vine stick swinging, his face carved from stone. Line up, you sorry rats! Time to make warriors or corpses. You shuffle into place, shoulder to shoulder, with your contubernium. Lucius winks, but his hands shake. Gaius grips his shield like it's his mum. They hand you a wooden gladius, twice as heavy as the real thing. It's rough, splintery, and feels like swinging a tree branch. Your shield's no better, big as a door, weighing down your left arm. The centurion paces, eyeing you like meat. This ain't a game. Drop that sword in battle, you're dead. Hesitate, you're dead. Think you're tough? Prove it. His voice is a growl, daring you to fail. First drill's simple. Stab the dummy. You step up, legs wobbly. The straw man stares back, its painted face mocking you. Thrust, the instructor barks. You lunge, sword jabbing the dummy's chest. Straw flies, but the centurion's not impressed. Pathetic! Hit like you mean it. You swing again, harder, arms burning. The impact jars your wrist. Lucius nails his dummy, grinning like a fool. Gaius misses, earning a vine stick to the ribs. Next, they teach you to block. The instructor, a scarred brute named Quintus, swings a wooden club at you. Shield up! You raise it just in time, the blow rattling your bones. Pain shoots through your arm, but you hold firm. Quintus sneers. Not bad, farm boy. Next time faster. Gaius isn't so lucky. His shield's too low, and the club clips his shoulder. He stumbles, biting back a cry. You help him up quick before the centurion sees. The testudo comes next. You've heard of it. The turtle, shields locked to stop arrows. You line up, Marcus anchoring the front, his bulk steady as a wall. "Close ranks!" Quintus shouts. You press tight, shield overlapping Lucius's. Gaius is on your right, trembling. You lift your shield overhead, forming the roof. It's heavy, your arm shaking. Quintus hurls rocks, testing gaps. One smacks Gaius's shield, and he flinches. "Hold it, worm!" You grit your teeth, sweat dripping into your eyes. Hours grind on. Your arms feel like lead, but they don't let up. Stab, block, step, again. The field's a chaos of shouts, clashing wood, and grunts. Lucius takes a hit to the leg, cursing loud enough to wake the gods. Marcus moves like a machine, silent and precise. You're somewhere in between, fighting to keep up. Every mistake earns a shout or a stick. Every success gets ignored. Rome doesn't care about good enough. They switch to pila, javelins, long and wobbly. You heft one, its iron tip glinting. "Throw!" Quintus yells. You hurl it at a target 50 paces off. It wobbles, missing by a mile. Lucius's lands close and he smirks. "Need help, farm boy?" You ignore him, grabbing another. Your second throw's better, grazing the target. Quintus nods, barely. Gaius's peeler goes wild, nearly skewering a recruit. The centurion's vine stick finds him fast. Sparring's the worst. They pair you with Marcus. He's a mountain, his wooden gladius a blur. "Fight!" Quintus snaps. You swing, but Marcus blocks, his shield slamming yours. The force knocks you back, dirt kissing your knees.
Up! Marcus doesn't wait. Lunging, you roll, barely dodging. Your counterstrike grazes his arm. He grunts, impressed. The centurion watches, saying nothing. You're alive. That's enough. The sun's high now, cooking you in your tunic. Sweat stings your cuts, and your hands are raw from gripping the sword. They give you a break. 5 minutes. You collapse on the grass, gasping.
Lucius tosses you a water skin. You look like death. You drink, water spilling down your chin. Gaius sits, head in hands. Marcus cleans his shield, calm as ever. You wonder how he does it. Back to work. They teach formations, wedge, orb, line. You learn to move as one, shields tight, no gaps. The centurion screams orders, advance, hold, flank. You step in sync, boots pounding. Gaius trips, breaking the line. Quintus is on him, roaring, "You'll kill us all, fool!" You pull Gaius back, whispering, "Focus!" He nods, eyes wide. You're starting to care about these idiots. Evening comes and your body's a wreck. Every muscle throbs, your hands blistered like raw meat. They make you drill one last time, testudo, full speed. You lock shields, moving as a unit. Rocks fly, but you hold. The centurion nods, a rare flicker of approval. Better. Don't get cocky. You're too tired to feel proud. You just want your mat. Back at the tent, you collapse. Lucius is bragging, saying he could have taken Quintus. "Sure," Marcus mutters, sharpening his gladius. Gaius bandages his hands, silent. You clean your gear, the wood still warm from your grip. The fire outside crackles, and the camp's alive with laughter and curses. You're bruised, battered, but something's different. You're not just surviving, you're learning. They say tomorrow's more of the same. Swords, shields, maybe slingshots. The centurion's voice haunts you. Warriors or corpses. You're starting to get it. Rome's not building fighters. It's building machines, men who don't break, don't think, just kill. And you're one of them now, like it or not. You lie back, the tent's canvas swaying above. Lucius's snores fill the air. Gaius clutches his charm, whispering a prayer. Marcus is still, a shadow in the dark. You close your eyes, the weight of the gladius still in your hand. Tomorrow, you'll swing harder. You'll block faster. Because out there, it's not straw dummies waiting. The real fight's coming and you're not ready yet, but you will be. Your brothers are counting on you and Rome's got no mercy for the weak. The morning's quiet, no horn blasting you awake for once. Your body's still sore from combat drills, arms heavy like they're made of lead. You crawl off your mat, the tent damp with last night's rain. Lucius is muttering about breakfast. Gaius ties his sandals with shaky hands, and Marcus is already outside, staring at the grey sky. You grab your tunic, the smell of sweat baked into it. Today's different. No swords, no shields. Today you're building Rome. They march you to a clearing outside Carnuntum, the Danube's mist curling around your ankles. The centurion's there, vine stick ready, but his grin's meaner than usual. Think you're soldiers. You're nothing till you can build a camp faster than you fight. He points to a pile of tools, shovels, picks, axes, all worn but sharp. Your contubernium gets a job. Dig a defensive ditch, raise a rampart, set stakes. Sounds simple, it ain't. You grab a shovel, its handle rough against your blistered palms. The ground's hard, packed with roots and rocks. You swing, the blade biting dirt, each scoop jarring your shoulders. Lucius works beside you, cursing every root he hits. This is slave work, he grumbles. Marcus just digs, steady as a mule. Gaius struggles, his pick bouncing off a stone. You nudge him. Aim lower. He nods, sweat dripping off his nose. The ditch needs to be deep, waist-high, wide enough for a man to fall in. You're only halfway there, and your back's screaming. The centurion stalks by, kicking dirt into the trench. Faster, worms. Barbarians won't wait for your lazy hands. Lucius mutters something rude, low enough to avoid the stick. You keep digging, dirt caking your face. The smell of earth and sweat fills your lungs heavy as a wet blanket. Hours pass, and the ditch takes shape. Your hands are raw, blisters bleeding through the calluses. They tell you to stop, but only to start the rampart. You haul dirt in baskets, piling it high, your legs wobbling under the weight. Marcus leads, packing the earth tight. Gaius trips, spilling his load. The centurion's on him like a hawk, vine stick cracking his shoulder.
Clumsy fool! Rome's walls don't fall. Gaius bites his lip, no sound, and picks up his basket. Next, you sharpen stakes, thick branches, hacked into points with axes. You swing, wood chips flying, your arms burning. Lucius makes a joke about skewering Dacians, but his hands shake. You carve your stake, the wood's grain rough under your fingers. Each one's driven into the rampart, forming a spiked wall. You hammer yours in, the mallet's weight jarring your wrists. It stands firm. You feel a flicker of pride, but the centurion's already yelling for the next task. They move you to a half-built bridge across a stream. The Legion needs it to move supplies. You're handed saws and ropes, the wood smelling fresh and sappy. Marcus takes charge, showing you how to notch beams so they lock tight. Like fitting bones, he says, voice low. You saw the blade catching, your hands slippery with sweat. Lucius ties knots, fast but sloppy. The Optio checks, shaking his head. Redo it, pretty boy. Lucius curses but obeys. The bridge takes shape, planks creaking underfoot. You help lash beams, rope burning your palms. Gaius holds a post steady, his face pale but focused. You test the bridge, stepping across, the stream gurgling below. It holds. The centurion nods, barely. Not bad, don't expect a parade. You're too tired to care. Your hands are shredded, but the bridge stands. Rome moves forward because of you. They send you to the Fabrici next, workshops inside the fort. The air's thick with smoke and iron. You're put on repair duty, fixing a cart's wheel. You hammer nails, the clang echoing in your skull. Lucius is across the room, shaping leather for sandals, griping about the stench. Gaius sorts tools, clumsy but trying.
Marcus works a bellows, sweat gleaming on his arms. The foreman, a grizzled immunist, watches like a vulture. "Break it! You fix it twice," he snaps. You learn fast. Soldiers don't just fight. You're builders, engineers, carpenters. Every legionary carries tools in his sarcina ready to turn a forest into a fort. You're taught to measure angles, mix mortar, even patch roads. Yesterday, you were stabbing dummies. Today, you're laying stones for a wall. It's grueling, but there's something solid about it. You're not just breaking things, you're making them. Evening comes and you're sent to clear a field for crops. You swing a scythe, grass falling in waves, the blade's edge glinting in the dusk. Lucius pretends he's fighting barbarians, slashing wildly. "Careful, hero," you say, half laughing. Gaius is quiet, his swings slow but steady. Marcus works like he was born with a scythe, no wasted motion. The centurion passes, nodding. "Keep that pace and you might eat tonight." You swing harder. Back at the tent, you collapse, hands throbbing, dirt under your nails. Lucius tosses you a chunk of bread. "Earned it, builder boy." You chew, the crust tough but sweet. Gaius wraps his hands, wincing. Marcus sits by the fire, carving a stick into nothing. The camp's alive, hammers still banging, men laughing, mules braying. You're part of it now, a cog in Rome's endless machine. They say tomorrow's back to combat, but you'll carry this with you. Every ditch you dig, every stake you drive, it's Rome claiming the world. You're not just a sword arm, you're a builder of empire, and that hits different. Your hands hurt, but they're stronger. Your back aches, but it's prouder. You're starting to see what Rome's about, not just blood, but stone and sweat. You lie on your mat, the tent's canvas flapping softly. Lucius is joking about starting a carpentry business. Gaius chuckles, a rare sound. Marcus just watches the fire. You close your eyes, the day's work heavy in your bones. Tomorrow you'll swing a sword again, but tonight you feel the weight of what you've built. The Legion's got more for you, walls to raise, roads to pave, wars to win. You're not ready for all of it, but you're tougher than you were. And that's enough to face what's coming. The fire's low, crackling in the dark as you slump against your pack. Your hands still sting from yesterday's scythe, calluses hard as leather now. The tent smells like sweat and smoke, a mix that's starting to feel like home. Lucius is sharpening his knife, muttering about the lousy rations. Gaius fiddles with a worn charm from his mum. Marcus sits silent, staring at the flames like they owe him answers. You're bone-tired, but there's a warmth here with these guys. You're contubernium, your brothers. Dawn hits like a punch. No horn today, just the centurion's growl outside. "Up, you lazy dogs! Work doesn't wait!" You roll off your mat, joints creaking, and pull on your tunic. It's stiff with dirt, clinging to your skin. Outside, the camp's already buzzing, men hauling water, mules braying, the air thick with the stench of dung and breakfast fires. You line up, Gaius tripping over his own feet. Lucius snickers. Graceful Greek. You nudge Gaius forward before the centurion notices. They don't march you far, just to the fort's edge, where the ground's a mess of mud and straw. The centurion points to a pile of gear, cooking pots, a hand mill, firewood. "You're a family now," he says, smirking like it's a sick joke. "Cook, clean, live together, screw it up, and you'll wish you were fighting Dacians." You're not training today. You're learning to survive as a unit, 8 men, bound tighter than blood. You start with breakfast. Marcus grabs the mill, grinding wheat into flour with slow, steady turns. The stone grinds loud, drowning out Lucius's complaints. "Why's it always porridge?" he gripes, tossing kindling on the fire. You kneel by the flames, stirring a pot of water and barley. The heat licks your face, smoke stinging your eyes. Gaius chops onions, tears streaming. "Gods, this is worse than drills," he mutters. You laugh, the first time in days. The porridge bubbles, thick and grey. It's no feast, but it's hot. You scoop it into bowls, Marcus adding a pinch of salt from his ration. Lucius steals a bite from Gaius's share, grinning. "Gotta be faster, Greek?" Gaius shoves him, nearly spilling the pot. The centurion's watching, vine stick ready, so you hiss at them to cut it out. You eat in silence, the fire's warmth cutting through the morning chill. It's bland, but it fills you up. Next, you clean gear. Your gladius needs oiling, its edge dulled from training. You rub it down, the metal cold under your fingers. Lucius polishes his shield, cursing every dent. "This thing's heavier than my sins," he says. Marcus scrubs his armor, methodical, like he's praying. Gaius struggles with his belt, leather stiff and cracked. You show him how to soften it with grease, your hands steady despite the blisters. He mumbles thanks, eyes down. The centurion calls you to the Principia, the fort's heart. It's a stone building, cool and dim, with banners hanging like ghosts. You stand at attention, heart thumping, as an officer reads orders. Your contubernium's on latrine duty tomorrow. Lucius groans under his breath, and the Optio glares. You elbow him to shut up. The officer hands out tesserae, password tablets for night watch. You tuck yours in your belt, the clay smooth and heavy. Back at the tent, you repair your kit. Your sandals are falling apart, soles worn thin from marching. You thread a needle, stitching leather with clumsy fingers. Lucius is better at it, his stitches neat as a tailor's. "Learned from my sister," he says, almost soft. Gaius tries, pricking his thumb and cursing. Marcus takes over, fixing Gaius's sandal in silence. You watch them, this odd little family, and feel something settle in your chest. Evenings for chores, you haul water from the river, buckets sloshing against your legs. The Danube's cold, its current tugging like it wants to drag you away. Lucius splashes Gaius, who yelps and swings a bucket. Water flies, and for a moment you're all laughing, kids again. The Optio barks, "Enough!" You straighten up, but the grin lingers. Back at camp, you chop firewood, the axe biting deep, wood chips stinging your shins. Dinner's your job tonight. You grind more wheat, arms aching, while Marcus builds the fire. Gaius roasts pork scraps, the fat sizzling and popping. The smell's a godsend, cutting through the camp's usual stink. Lucius sneaks a piece, burning his fingers and cursing. "Worth it," he says, chewing. You serve it with bread and watered wine, sour but welcome. You sit close, the fire's glow painting your faces. No one talks much, you don't need to. After you clean the pot, scrubbing till your knuckles bleed. Lucius tells a story about a bar fight in Rome, half lies, but it's funny. Gaius shares one about his village, his voice quiet but clear. Marcus listens, saying nothing, but his eyes soften. You talk about your dad's farm, the way the fields smelled after rain. It's the first time you've opened up. They nod like they get it. The fire's dying, but the warmth stays. Night falls and you're on tent duty. You sweep the floor, dirt clinging to your hands. Gaius patches a tear in the canvas, needle flashing in the lamplight. Lucius oils the tent pegs, grumbling about rust. Marcus checks the ropes, tugging each one tight. It's boring, but it matters. This tent's your home, your shield against the world. You work together, no complaints. Well, except Lucius. The centurion swings by, inspecting. "Not bad," he says, like it pains him. "Don't let it go to your heads." You stand straighter, pride flickering. He hands you tomorrow's orders. Fort maintenance, maybe workshops. You're not just grunts, you're the Legion's blood, keeping it alive. The thought hits hard, you're not alone anymore. These guys, flaws and all, have your back. You collapse on your mat, the tent dark except for a single lamp. Lucius is snoring already, sprawled like a dead man. Gaius clutches his charm, whispering something soft. Marcus sits by the flap, watching the camp's fires. You pull your blanket tight, the wool scratching your chin. The day's work lingers, sore hands, full belly, the sound of laughter. You're starting to love this in a messed up way. Tomorrow's another grind, latrines, maybe forges. The Legion doesn't stop, and neither do you. You're not the farm boy who left home, scared and soft. You're part of something bigger, tied to these men by sweat and trust. They're not perfect. Lucius is a loudmouth, Gaius a worrier, Marcus a mystery. But they're yours. You close your eyes, the camp's heartbeat in your ears, fires popping, men talking, the river's distant rush. Tomorrow you'll wake up and do it all again. You'll fight, you'll build, you'll bleed, because that's what brothers do, and whatever's next, you're ready for it. The sun's barely up, and the fort's already alive. You wake to the crunch of boots outside your tent, the air sharp with frost, your mat's damp, straw poking your ribs like it's personal. Lucius is cursing, tangled in his blanket. Gaius rubs sleep from his eyes, charm clutched tight. Marcus is up, lacing his sandals, face blank as stone. You pull on your tunic, the stink of sweat baked in deep. Another day at Carnuntum begins. You stumble outside, breath fogging in the cold. The camp's a machine, men hauling wood, fires spitting smoke, mules braying like they're paid to complain. The centurion's waiting, vine stick tapping his palm. "Line up, you sorry rats!" You fall in with your contubernium, Gaius tripping over a tent peg. Lucius snickers, but you elbow him quiet. The centurion's eyes slice through you. Today's fabrique duty, don't embarrass me. They march you to the Principia, the fort's stone heart. Its walls loom, banners fluttering like captured spirits. Inside, it's cool and dim, smelling of ink and wax. An officer reads orders, voice flat. Your squad's assigned to the workshops, chainmail repairs. You get a tessera, a clay tablet with the day's password. It's smooth in your hand, a small weight of trust. You tuck it in your belt, heart thumping. The fabrique's a beast of noise and heat. Forges roar, hammers clang, the air thick with iron and sweat. You're handed a pile of chainmail, links rusted and bent. "Fix it!" the foreman snaps, a wiry immunis with a scar across his nose. You sit at a bench, tools heavy in your hands, pliers, wire, a hammer small enough to feel like a toy. The mail's a puzzle, each link a pain to bend straight. You start, fingers clumsy at first. The pliers slip, pinching your skin. Lucius, next to you, works fast, his links clicking into place. "Keep up, farm boy," he says, smirking. Gaius fumbles, dropping a link. It skitters across the floor, and the foreman's glare could melt iron. Marcus is a machine, his hands steady, piling finished mail like it's nothing. You focus, twisting wire, the rhythm slowly coming. It's tedious, but there's a strange calm to it. The foreman hovers, barking at mistakes. "You call that a repair? My grandma's stronger." You grit your teeth, fingers aching. A link snaps and you curse under your breath. Lucius laughs but slides you a spare. "Don't say I never helped." You nod, grateful. Gaius is sweating, his pile barely growing. You lean over, showing him how to twist tighter. He mumbles thanks, voice low. Hours pass, your back a knot of pain. The forge's heat cooks you, sweat dripping into your eyes. The clang of hammers is your heartbeat now. You finish a section of mail, links gleaming like fish scales. The foreman inspects, grunting. "Not terrible," high praise. You stretch, knuckles cracking, and glance at Marcus. He's done twice as much, silent as ever. You wonder what drives him. They give you a break, 10 minutes. You slump against a wall, gulping water from a skin. It's warm, tastes like leather, but it's heaven. Lucius tells a dumb joke about a centurion and a goat earning a laugh from Gaius. Marcus just eats his bread, eyes on the forge. You chew your ration, stale but filling. The workshop's chaos fades for a moment. Your brother's voice is a tether. Back to work. They shift you to weapon maintenance. You're handed a gladius, edge dull from training. You sharpen it on a whetstone, the scrape loud in your ears. Sparks fly, stinging your hands. Lucius polishes a peeler, griping about the rust. This thing's older than Rome. Gaius oils scabbards, clumsy but careful. Marcus sharpens daggers, each stroke precise. You copy his rhythm, the blade gleaming under your touch. The centurion swings by, inspecting. Sloppy work's a death sentence. He growls. He grabs your gladius, testing the edge. His nod's grudging, but it's enough. You stand taller, pride flickering. The foreman tosses you more mail and you're back at it, fingers raw. The workshop's a furnace, but you're part of it. Every link, every blade, keeping the Legion ready. Midday, you're sent to fort maintenance. The walls need checking, stones loose from winter's freeze. You climb a ladder, wind biting your face. The Danube glitters below, cold and endless. You pry a stone free, hands numb, and pass it down to Gaius. He stumbles, nearly dropping it. Lucius catches it, cursing. Gods, Greek, you're useless. Gaius flushes, but you clap his shoulder. Ignore him. You mix mortar, the grit sticking to your skin. It's heavy work, hauling buckets, spreading the mix. Marcus sets stones like he's building a temple, each one perfect. You try to match him, arms burning. Lucius slacks off, flirting with a passing water carrier. The Optio's vine stick finds his back, quick and sharp. Work, pretty boy. Lucius grimaces but gets moving. You hide a smirk. Evening creeps in, the sky bruising purple. You're on cleaning duty now, scrubbing the barracks floor. The brush is rough, splinters biting your palms. Gaius sweeps, dust choking the air. Lucius mops, half-arsing it, till Marcus glares. Do it right, Marcus says, voice low. Lucius rolls his eyes but tries harder. You scrub harder too, the floor gleaming under torchlight. Dinner's a quick affair. Porridge again, with a scrap of pork. You cook with your contubernium, fire warm against the night's chill. Lucius steals Gaius's pork, grinning. Survival, Greek? Gaius tackles him and they wrestle, laughing. Marcus watches, almost smiling. You eat fast, the food grounding you, the camp's alive, men singing, dice rolling, the clang of a distant forge. Before bed, you check your gear. Your gladius shines, chainmail patched. You oil your sandals, leather soft under your fingers. Gaius repairs his belt, needle flashing. Lucius carves a rude drawing on his shield, chuckling. Marcus sits by the tent flap, staring at the stars. You wonder about home, your mum's bread, your dad's gruff laugh. It's distant now, this fort, these men, they're your world. The centurion's voice echoes in your head. Rome's a machine, you're the gears. Today you felt it, every link you fixed, every stone you set, every blade you sharpened. You're not just a soldier, you're the fort's pulse, keeping it strong. It's grunt work, but it's yours. And with Lucius's jokes, Gaius's quiet effort, Marcus's steady hand, you're not alone. You lie on your mat, the tent, dark and warm. Lucius snores, sprawled like a drunk. Gaius clutches his charm, breathing soft. Marcus is still, a shadow against the canvas. The camp's sounds fade, fires popping, a dog barking, the rivers rush. You're tired, but it's a good tired. You're part of Carnuntum now, it's stones and steel in your bones. Tomorrow's new orders. maybe guard duty, maybe the vicus. Whatever it is, you'll face it with your brothers. You're not the scared kid who walked through these gates. You're a legionary, forged by routine, bound by trust. And whatever Rome throws at you next, you're ready. The fort's gates creak open, and you step out into a world that's not quite Rome. Your boots hit the dirt, still sore from yesterday's workshop grind. The air's different here, less smoke, more life. The vicus sprawls before you, a messy town hugging Carnuntum's walls. Huts and shops lean together like drunk friends, their roofs a patchwork of straw and tile. Voices hum, traders shouting, kids laughing, a dog barking its head off. You're on supply duty, but this place feels like a trap waiting to snap. Your contubernium's with you, clutching coin pouches like they're gold. Lucius is grinning, eyes already hunting for trouble. "Finally, some fun," he says, nudging you. Gaius looks nervous, gripping his belt like it'll save him. Marcus scans the crowd, silent, his hand near his knife. The centurion's orders were clear: get food, don't screw up. But the vicus is a maze of temptation, taverns, markets, women calling from doorways. You swallow hard and keep moving. The main street's a riot of colour and noise. Stalls line the path, piled with bread, fish, and barrels of sour wine. A butcher hacks at a pig, blood dripping onto the dirt. The smell hits you, meat, sweat, and something sweet, maybe honey. A merchant waves you over, his Latin rough. "Fresh figs, soldier, cheap," Lucius bargains, tossing insults like they're coins. You grab a basket of apples, their skins shiny red. Your mouth waters, but you're here for the legion, not your stomach. You pass a blacksmith, sparks flying as he pounds a blade. The clang's familiar, like the fabrique, but wilder. Gaius stares wide-eyed at a cart of pottery, cups painted with gladiators. "My sister'd love this," he mutters. You nod, but Marcus pulls him along. "Focus!" he grunts. The crowd's thick. Locals in rough tunics, traders from God's nowhere, even a few off-duty legionaries, their armor swapped for cloaks. You feel their eyes, some curious, some cold. A tavern's door swings open, spilling laughter and the tang of spilled beer. Lucius slows, peering inside. "Just a quick drink," he says, smirking. You grab his arm. "Centurion'll skin us." He shrugs but follows, muttering about you being no fun. The place is trouble. Dice games, drunks, women with painted faces. You've heard stories, soldiers losing a month's pay in one night. Your coins feel heavy, tempting you to be stupid. You reach the grain merchant, a fat man with a sly grin. "Best wheat in Pannonia," he claims, patting a sack. You check it, fingers sifting through the kernels. It's good, no mold. Lucius haggles, loud and cocky, till the price drops. Gaius counts coins, hands shaking. Marcus watches the crowd, spotting a pickpocket before the kid can try. "Move!" he growls, and the thief bolts. You load the sacks, shoulders aching under the weight. The vicus isn't just shops. Families live here, wives of soldiers, kids running wild. A girl with braids chases a goose, giggling. You smile, thinking of your sister back home, but there's tension too. Locals whisper as you pass, their eyes hard. Rome's not loved here, not really. You're the Empire's fist, and they're the ones who feel the punch. You keep your head down, avoiding stares. A shrine catches your eye, tucked between stalls. It's small, stone-worn smooth, with offerings of bread and flowers. A local god, maybe Danuvius, the river spirit. Gaius pauses, touching his charm. "Should we?" he asks. Lucius snorts. "Pagan nonsense." Marcus just watches, saying nothing. You drop a coin at the shrine, just in case. The gods haven't failed you yet, and you're not dumb enough to test them. Trouble finds you at the baker's. A drunk auxiliary reeking of wine shoves Lucius. "Roman scum," he slurs, his accent thick. Lucius bristles, hand on his knife. "Say it again, barbarian." You step between them, heart racing. "Walk away!" you hiss at Lucius. The auxiliary laughs but stumbles off. Gaius exhales, pale. Marcus nods at you, a rare approval. The baker hands over your bread, pretending he saw nothing. You're halfway back when the market square erupts. A juggler tosses torches, flames dancing in the dusk. Kids cheer, and even Lucius stops to watch. The crowd's alive, a pulse you haven't felt since leaving home. A woman sells roasted nuts, her smile warm. You buy a handful, the taste sweet and smoky. Gaius tries one, grinning like a kid. For a moment, the legion's weight lifts. You're just a guy in a town, not a cog in Rome's machine, but the vicus has claws. A tavern brawl spills into the street, two soldiers trading punches, blood on their tunics. A woman screams and locals scatter. You freeze, sacks heavy on your shoulders. Marcus pulls you back. "Not our fight!" The centurion's voice echoes in your head. "Don't screw up!" You move on, but the chaos sticks with you. This place is freedom, but it's a blade's edge. You pass a bathhouse, steam curling from its doors. Off-duty legionaries lounge outside, laughing, their skin clean for once. You're jealous. Your last bath was a cold river dip. Lucius eyes the place like it's a palace. "One day," he says. Gaius looks tempted, but Marcus keeps walking. You follow, the sacks digging into your back. Duty first, always. The sun's sinking, painting the vicus gold. You're almost done. Just need oil for the fort's lamps. The merchant's a sharp-eyed woman, her stall lit by a single flame. She sizes you up, naming a price too high. Lucius argues, but she doesn't budge. You step in, voice steady, and talk her down. She smirks, impressed. "Smart one," she says, handing over the jars. You feel a flicker of pride. Loaded with supplies, you head back. The vicus hums behind you, alive with light and noise. A singer's voice drifts, sad and sweet. You want to stay, to be part of this messy, human place. But the fort's gates loom, iron and cold. You're a soldier, not a civilian. Your world's discipline, not freedom. Lucius sighs like he feels it too. Gaius clutches his charm. Marcus just marches. You cross the threshold, the fort swallowing you whole. The centurion's waiting, inspecting your hall. "Not bad," he grunts. "Don't get used to it." You unload, arms screaming, and report to the Principia. The officer logs your work, stylus scratching. You're dismissed, but the vicus lingers. The smells, the fights, the life. It's a taste of what you gave up for Rome. Back at the tent, you collapse. Lucius is counting his coins, plotting a tavern trip. "Next time," he says, winking. Gaius sorts the apples, saving one for tomorrow. Marcus cleans his knife, firelight on his face. You eat a nut, the taste grounding you. The camp's quiet, just fires and distant shouts. You're home, but the vicus called to you, a whisper of another life. Tomorrow's back to routine. Guard duty, maybe drills. But the vicus showed you something. There's a world beyond the fort, full of danger and dreams. You're tied to your brothers, to Rome, but part of you wonders what's out there. Lucius's laugh, Gaius's fear, Marcus's silence, they're your anchor. For now, that's enough. You lie on your mat, the tent, dark and warm. The singer's tune echoes in your head, soft and haunting. You're a legionary, but today you were human. Tomorrow you'll carry Rome's weight again, and whatever's next, you'll face it with the vicus's fire in your veins. The dawn's grey and cold, creeping into your tent like a thief. You wake stiff, your mat damp from the night's chill. The air smells of wet canvas and yesterday's fire. Lucius is sprawled, snoring loud enough to wake the gods. Gaius clutches his charm, eyes half open. Marcus is up, sharpening his knife with slow, steady scrapes. You pull on your tunic, its stink of sweat now as familiar as your own skin. Your stomach growls, a beast that's never satisfied. Today's about food, rations, cooking, the grind of keeping your contubernum fed. You stumble outside, boots sinking into the mud, carnuntum's waking up, fires flare, men curse, mules bray like they're auditioning for a riot. The centurion's there, vine stick swinging, face like he's chewed nails. "Line up, you hungry dogs!" You fall in, Gaius tripping over his own sandals. Lucius mutters, "Bet it's porridge again." You shush him, but your gut's hoping for something better. The centurion points to the granary. "Ration duty! Don't eat what you don't earn." They march you to the granary, a stone bunker squatting near the fort's heart. It's cool inside, smelling of dust and wheat. Sacks line the walls, heavy with grain, Rome's lifeblood. The quartermaster, a squinting immunis with ink-stained fingers, hands you a list. "Barley, beans, pork, oil, move fast." You nod, heart sinking. It's the same old grub, deducted from your pay before you even see it. Lucius groans. "No figs? No wine?" Marcus glares and he shuts up. You start hauling sacks, their weight digging into your shoulders. Each one's a fight, rough burlap scraping your hands. Gaius stumbles, nearly dropping his load. You catch it, arms straining. "Careful, Greek," you say, softer than you mean. He mumbles thanks, face red. Marcus carries 2 sacks like they're nothing, his step steady. Lucius slacks off, pretending to check a sack's tie. The quartermaster's glare gets him moving. You're already sweating and the day's just begun. Back at the tent, you unpack the rations. Barley's the bulk, hard, gritty kernels that'll be porridge or bread. Beans are next, small and shriveled, good for stew. Pork's a treat, salted and tough, barely enough for 8. A jug of olive oil glints, precious as gold. No wine, no fruit, no luxuries. Your pay's bled dry for this, and it's never enough. Lucius kicks a sack. "We're soldiers, not beggars." Marcus grunts. "Eat or starve. Cooking's your job today." You kneel by the fire pit, kindling, crackling as you coax a flame. The smoke stings your eyes, curling like a ghost. You grab the hand mill, its stones heavy as your shield. Grinding barley's a slog. Turn, scrape, turn. Your arms burn, sweat dripping onto the flour. Gaius tries to help, but he's clumsy, spilling half a handful. "Sorry," he mutters. You shrug. "Keep going." Lucius laughs, tossing wood on the fire. "You're a natural Greek. The flour's coarse, full of grit that'll haunt your teeth." You mix it with water, kneading dough for bread. Your hands stick, the dough fighting back. Marcus watches, then takes over, his fingers sure. "Like this," he says, shaping a flat loaf. You copy him, the dough soft under your palms. The fire's hot now, coals glowing red. You set the loaves on a stone, the smell of baking bread cutting through the camp stink. Pork's next. You chop the salted meat, its fat gleaming. The knife's dull, biting your hand. You curse, blood mixing with the salt. Gaius hands you a rag, silent. You toss the pork in a pot with beans and water, stirring over the fire. The stew simmers, a thin broth that's more hope than flavor. Lucius sneaks a taste, burning his tongue. "Worth it," he says, grinning. You roll your eyes, but he's growing on you. While the food cooks, you clean the mill, scraping flour from its grooves. It's tedious, your fingers raw. Gaius scrubs the pot, splashing himself. Lucius polishes the knives, humming a tavern tune. Marcus checks the fire, adding wood with care. You're a team, each man a piece of the puzzle. The centurion's words echo. You're a family. It's starting to feel true in the small moments like this. Lunch is ready and you serve it hot. The bread's hard but warm, tearing easy in your hands. The stew's thin, pork chewy, beans half-cooked. You eat, sitting on the dirt, fire warming your legs. Lucius complains, but he's shoveling it down. Gaius eats slow, savouring each bite. Marcus is quiet, his bowl empty fast. You chew, the grit crunching, and think of home, your mom's stew, thick with herbs. This ain't that, but it keeps you alive. They give you a break, 5 minutes. You lean against a tent pole, sipping watered wine, sour as vinegar. Lucius tells a story about stealing apples as a kid, his voice bright. Gaius laughs, a rare sound. Marcus listens, almost smiling. You share a memory of your dad's bread, the crust, golden and soft. It's the first time you've talked like this, open and easy. The fire pops and the camp's noise fades, just for a moment. Back to work, you're sent to forage, scrounging for extras. The centurion allows it, if you're quick. You head to the vicus's edge, where wild herbs grow. The air's fresher here, grass damp underfoot. You pick dill and thyme, their scent sharp. Gaius finds onions, small but sweet. Lucius chases a rabbit, tripping over a root. "Gods, I'm starving!" he yells, laughing. Marcus spots mushrooms, checking them for poison. You bag it all, hands green with sap. Dinner's your chance to shine. You use the foraged herbs, tossing them in the stew. The onions add bite, the thyme a hint of home. You bake more bread, this time softer, the fire just right. The pork's gone, so it's beans and barley again, but the herbs lift it. You serve, the steam warming your face. Lucius takes a bite, eyes wide. "Not bad, farm boy." Gaius nods, eating fast. Marcus grunts, a high compliment. You eat by the fire, stars pricking the sky. The camp's alive, men singing, dice clattering, a dog howling. Lucius steals Gaius's bread, dodging a playful swing. "Survival Greek!" Gaius tackles him and they roll, laughing. Marcus watches, his face soft in the firelight. You chew slow, the stew's warmth spreading. It's not much, but it's yours, made with your hands, shared with your brothers.
After you clean up. You scrub the pot, knuckles raw, water cold as the Danube. Gaius dries, clumsy but trying. Lucius stacks wood, griping about splinters. Marcus checks the rations, counting what's left. You're low, 2 days, maybe 3. The vicus might have more, but it'll cost. Your pay's a ghost, spent before you touch it. You sigh, but there's no time for pity. Rome doesn't care if you're hungry.
The centurion swings by, sniffing the stew. "Smells decent," he says, like it hurts him. "Don't get cocky." You nod, pride flickering. He's gone, and you're back to the grind. You store the rations, sacks heavy in the tent's corner. Gaius trips, knocking one over. Barley spills and you all freeze. Marcus kneels, scooping it up, silent. You help, fingers brushing dirt. No one speaks, you can't afford to lose a grain. Night settles, the tent dark and warm. You lie on your mat, stomach full, hands sore. Lucius is carving a stick, muttering about wine. Gaius polishes his charm, whispering a prayer. Marcus sits by the flap, watching the camp's fires. The day's work lingers. Flour on your hands, the stew's taste. Your brother's laughs. You're not just eating, you're surviving together. Tomorrow's another fight, maybe night watch, maybe combat. But today, you fed your family. You made something from nothing, and it matters. Lucius's jokes, Gaius's effort, Marcus's quiet strength, they're why you keep going. You're a legionary, but here, by the fire, you're human. You close your eyes, the camp's pulse in your ears, fires crackling, men talking, the rivers hum. The rations are low, the work's endless, but you're tougher than you were. Tomorrow you'll cook again, fight again, live again, and whatever's next, you'll face it with a full belly and your brothers at your side. The army camp was quiet. It was getting dark, and most soldiers were getting ready for bed. You were in your tent with your friends after eating dinner. Your hands were still dirty from making bread earlier. Your friend Lucius was lying down and talking about girls in town. Gaius was cleaning his lucky charm, looking sleepy. Marcus was making his knife sharp. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Your bed was lumpy, but you were getting sleepy. Then suddenly the centurion, the boss soldier, yelled, "You, night watch! Go guard the food building right now!" Your stomach felt sick. No sleep tonight. You jumped up fast, your heart beating hard. The centurion gave you a clay tablet with the secret password scratched on it, Aquila, which means eagle. "Don't lose this," he said meanly, "and don't fall asleep. If I catch you sleeping, you'll be cleaning toilets until spring." He poked you in the chest with his stick. You nodded, your mouth feeling dry. You grabbed your sword, shield, and cloak. Lucius laughed and said, "Don't die, farm boy." Gaius looked worried. Marcus just nodded like he believed in you. Outside, the fort was full of shadows. Torches made scary shapes on the stone walls. The air was cold and smelled like pine trees and smoke. You walked to the granary, the building where they kept all the food. It was a short, square building with a heavy iron door. 2 other guards were waiting there. Paulus was an old soldier with a limp. Sextus was a nervous kid about your age. Paulus said, "First time on guard duty, kid, stay awake." Sextus just shivered and held his spear tight. You stood by the door with your sword at your side. The granary was super important. It had bags of grain stacked high, enough food for the whole army for weeks. If thieves stole it or it caught fire, everyone would be in big trouble. Your cloak was thin, and the wind was cold on your legs. The fort was sleeping, but you could hear it. Soldiers snoring far away, a horse making noise, and the river flowing nearby. Your eyes hurt and wanted to close. Paulus walked back and forth with his limp. "Keep moving," he said. "Being cold makes it hard to think." You nodded and stepped in place. Sextus said a prayer, his spear shaking. You held tight to your clay tablet. The password was like a shield. If an officer came to check and you forgot it, you'd be in huge trouble. You remembered stories about soldiers getting whipped for sleeping on duty and one who was killed for leaving his post. You tried not to think about it, but you were still scared. The first hour was really hard. Your legs hurt from training earlier. The darkness was all around you, and the torches barely gave any light. You looked into the shadows, imagining bad guys or thieves. Nothing moved, but every little sound, a leaf, a rat, made your heart jump. Paulus coughed. "Relax, kid. Nighttime plays tricks on your mind." You tried to relax, but your hand stayed on your sword. Sextus was having trouble staying awake, swaying like he was drunk. "Keep your eyes open," you whispered harshly. He jerked up straight and said sorry. Paulus laughed. "That kid is really new." You felt new too, but you stood up taller, pretending to be brave. When midnight came, the stars looked sharp as knives. The cold was worse now, going right through your bones. You blew on your hands to warm them up. Paulus told a story about a battle where blood froze on the snow. "Stay alert, and you'll live," he said. Sextus listened with big eyes. You nodded, but you kept thinking about the password. Aquila, you whispered it like a prayer.
A noise woke you up, crunch like boots on rocks. You froze, hand on your sword. Paulus got ready with his spear. Sextus whimpered and was no help. You looked into the dark, your heart pounding. A shape moved, a man in a cloak near the wall. "Stop!" Paulus yelled. The person stopped and raised his hand. "Aquila," he said, calmly. It was an officer checking on the guards. You breathed out, your legs shaky. He nodded and walked away. Paulus said, "Lucky."
The scare kept you awake for a while. You walked around, kicking stones with your boots. Sextus was getting sleepy again, his spear drooping. "Stand up," you said sharply. He did what you said, but his eyes looked glassy. Paulus patted his shoulder. "You'll learn, kid." You wondered if you would learn too. The granary felt like a giant monster, crushing you with worry. Every creak was scary, every shadow looked like an enemy. Your brain screamed for sleep, but you fought it. When dawn was still hours away, Paulus went away for a minute. It was just you and Sextus. He was shaking, his spear rattling. "I can't do this," he whispered. You grabbed his arm. "Yes, you can. Look at me." His scared eyes met yours. "We're Roman soldiers. We don't give up." He nodded a little. You let go, your heart racing. You weren't sure you believed it either, but saying it helped. The wind got stronger, howling like a wolf. Your cloak flapped and didn't help against the cold. You thought about home, your mum's warm fire. Here it was just you, the darkness, and Rome's need for food. The granary was your whole world now, and the grain inside was worth more than your life. You held your shield tight. Its weight made you feel better. Paulus came back, limping. "Good job, kid. Keep it up." You nodded, feeling a little proud. The second hour dragged by. Your eyes wanted to close, and everything looked blurry. You bit your lip. The pain was sharp enough to wake you up. Sextus was worse, leaning on his spear. You pushed him hard. "Stay with me." He mumbled and straightened up. Paulus sang quietly, some old marching song. You hummed along, and the rhythm helped keep you sane. The stars moved slowly. You heard hooves, faint but getting louder. You got tense and started to pull out your sword. Paulus stepped forward with his spear low. "Easy," he whispered. It was a patrol, 2 soldiers on horses with torches. "Aquila," one called out. You answered with a steady voice. They nodded and rode away. Sextus looked relieved. You weren't. The night was full of tests, and you were barely passing. Your hand shook, but you hid it. The third hour was a nightmare. Your legs felt like heavy rocks, your eyes like sand. The cold cut through your cloak like a knife. You marched in place, each step a battle. Paulus told another story, some recruit who slept on watch and got 50 whips. "Don't be him," he said. You wouldn't be. You thought about Lucius's laugh, Gaius's worry, Marcus's nod. They were counting on you. You stood straighter, ignoring the pain. Sextus broke down. He slumped, his spear clattering. You caught him before he fell, hissing, "Get up!" Paulus helped, propping him against the wall. "Stay there, kid," he said kindly. You took his place, doing double duty now. The granary's door felt heavier, its shadow darker. You were alone with Paulus, the night endless. Your clay tablet was a lifeline. Aquila burned into your brain. Dawn was a faint glow when new guards arrived, 2 fresh soldiers with bored faces. "Aquila," you said, your voice rough. They took over, and you stumbled away, legs numb. Paulus patted your shoulder. "Not bad, kid." Sextus mumbled thanks, feeling ashamed. You didn't care. You did your job. The granary was safe, and you were still standing. Back at the tent, you collapsed. Lucius was awake, grinning. "Look who's alive." Gaius gave you water, eyes soft. Marcus nodded, a silent, "Well done." You drank with shaking hands and lay on your mat. The camp was waking up, horns, shouts, the smell of bread. Your body screamed for sleep, but you felt proud. You held the line and kept Rome's heart beating. Tomorrow would be another hard day, with maybe training, maybe going to town. But tonight, you faced the dark and won. Lucius's jokes, Gaius's fear, Marcus's strength, they were why you didn't break. You were a Roman soldier, made strong by cold and duty. The night tried to crush you, but you were tougher than that. You closed your eyes, the clay tablets weight in your hand. The camp had a pulse, fires crackling, men moving, the river's song. You were part of it, a guard in Rome's shadow. Tomorrow you'd fight again, stand again, live again. And whatever came next, you'd face it with your brother's trust in your heart. The dawn's blood red, painting Carnuntum's walls like a warning. You wake with a jolt, heart already pounding. The tent's quiet. Lucius isn't joking. Gaius isn't praying. Marcus isn't sharpening anything. They're all up, faces tight, eyes sharp. Your mouth's dry, stomach twisting like a snake. Today's not drills, not rations, not watch duty. Today's your first battle. The Dacians are out there, and Rome's sending you to break them. You pull on your armor, the bronze plate heavy on your chest. Your gladius slaps your thigh, peel a javelin strapped to your back. The helmet's tight, pinching your skull. Lucius checks his shield, muttering curses. Gaius fumbles his belt, hands shaking. Marcus is a statue, buckling his gear with steady hands. The centurion's voice booms outside. "Form up, you dogs! Time to earn your pay!" You grab your shield and step into the cold. The fort's a hive of chaos, men shouting, horses snorting, trumpets blaring. You line up with your contubernium, the legion a sea of glinting armor. The centurion paces, vine stick swinging. Dacians hit a supply line, we march, we fight, we win. Screw up and you're dead. His eyes lock on you like he knows you're green. You swallow hard, gripping your shield till your knuckles ache. The march is brutal. 30 kilometers, full gear, no rest. Your pack digs into your shoulders, pillar clattering, the road's mud sucking your sandals. Lucius hums a tune, but it's forced, his smirk gone. Gaius wheezes, shield dragging. Marcus sets the pace, eyes forward. The air smells of dust and fear. You pass burned wagons, bloodstains on the dirt. The Dacians aren't a story anymore. They're real and they're close. By noon, you reach the battlefield, a valley, hills on both sides, the Danube glinting far off. The enemy's there, a dark mass of fur and iron. Their war cries echo sharp as knives. Your legion forms up, triplex aces, 3 lines, shields tight. You're in the front, your contubernium a heartbeat beside you. The centurion roars, "Pila ready!" You heft your javelin, its weight familiar from drills. Your arm shakes, but you hide it. The Dacians charge, a wave of axes and screams. Their faces are painted, eyes wild, falxes gleaming, curved blades that can split shields. Your mouth's dust, heart a war drum. "Loose!" the centurion bellows. You hurl your pila, the air alive with iron. They arc, slamming into the enemy. Men fall, skewered, but the rest keep coming. You grab your second pila, throw again. A Dacian stumbles, your javelin in his chest. You feel nothing, just the next order.
"Shields up!" You lock your scutum with Lucius's, Gaius on your right. Marcus anchors the line, his bulk steady. The testudo's tight, a wall of wood and bronze. Arrows hiss, smacking shields. One grazes Gaius's arm, blood trickling. He grits his teeth, no cry. The centurion's voice cuts through. "Advance!" You step forward, boots sinking, heart screaming to run. The legion moves as one, a beast with 1,000 arms.
The Dacians hit like a storm. Axes crash against shields, the sound a thunderclap. Your arm jars, pain shooting to your shoulder. A falx hooks a shield ahead, ripping it away. The legionary screams, gutted in a second. You push forward, gladius drawn. Thrust! You stab, blade sinking into flesh, blood sprays hot on your hand. The Dacian falls, eyes wide. You pull free, stomach lurching, and keep moving. Chaos swallows you, the line holds, but it's a meat grinder. Lucius fights beside you, shield bashing a Dacian's face. "Stay tight," he yells. Gaius stabs, clumsy but alive. Marcus is a machine, his gladius a blur. You block an axe, the blow numbing your arm. You thrust, miss, try again. Blood's everywhere, yours, theirs, the ground slick. A scream, Sextus, the kid from Night Watch, goes down, his throat open. You can't stop, you can't think. The centurion's voice is your anchor. "Hold the line!" You press forward, shield locked, gladius wet. A Dacian lunges, foul swinging. You duck, stabbing his thigh. He falls and Marcus finishes him. Gaius is bleeding, arm gashed, but he's fighting. Lucius takes a hit, shield splintered. "I'm fine," he snarls, swinging. "You're not fine. Fear's a blade in your gut, but you move, because stopping is death." The legion shifts, wedge formation now. You're the tip, driving into the enemy. Your shield's a battering ram, your gladius a fang. You stab, block, step, over and over. A Dacian's face looms, teeth bared. You bash his nose, blood bursting, and thrust. He's gone. Another takes his place. The world's noise, screams, metal, your own ragged breath. You're not a man. You're Rome's fist, and you don't break.
Hours blur, your arms lead, shield cracked. The Dacians waver, their line thinning. "Push!" the centurion roars. You charge, a wall of fury. The enemy breaks, running for the hills. Arrows chase them, your archers earning their keep. You don't cheer. You're too tired, too bloody. The field's a graveyard, bodies twisted, blood pooling, the stink of death thick. You lean on your shield, gasping, alive.
The centurion calls a halt. You stand, legs shaking, as officers count the dead. Your contubernium's here, Lucius, battered but grinning. Gaius, pale, arm-wrapped. Marcus, blood-streaked but steady. Others aren't lucky. Paulus, the Night Watch veteran, lies still, his spear broken. You look away, throat tight. The Aquilifer raises the eagle standard, its gold glinting. Rome won, but the cost is carved in the dirt. You're sent to clear the field. You drag bodies, Dacians, Romans, their weight the same. Blood soaks your hands, sticky and warm. You find a legionary, barely older than you, eyes open, unseeing. You close them, your fingers trembling. Gaius gags but keeps working. Lucius is quiet, no jokes now. Marcus moves like a ghost piling weapons. The centurion watches, saying nothing. This is victory, and it's ugly. Night falls and you're back at camp. Your armor's heavy, crusted with blood. You clean it, hands numb, the water turning red. Lucius sits by the fire, staring at nothing. "We made it," he says, voice flat. Gaius bandages his arm, wincing. Marcus sharpens his gladius, each scrape a prayer. You eat bread, beans, tasteless. Your stomach's full, but you're empty. The battle's in your head, every scream, every thrust. The centurion swings by, his face a mask. "Not bad, worms, don't get soft." He tosses you a wineskin, a rare gift. You drink, the wine sour but warm. Lucius takes a swig, passing it to Gaius. Marcus sips last, silent. The fire's low, shadows dancing. You think of home, your mum's laugh, your dad's fields. It's a world away. Here, it's blood and brothers, and you're changed. You lie on your mat, the tent dark. Lucius snores, softer than usual. Gaius clutches his charm, breathing uneven. Marcus is still, a shadow by the flap. The camp's quiet, fires crackling, a horse's whinny, the river's hum. You killed today. You live today. The weight of it presses your chest, heavy as your shield. You're a legionary, forged in blood, bound to these men. Tomorrow's new orders, maybe burial, maybe march. The Dacians aren't done, and Rome's hungry for more. You're not the boy who left home, dreaming of glory. You're a soldier, scarred and sharp. Lucius's grin, Gaius's fear, Marcus's strength, they're your anchor. You survived your first battle, but the war's just begun. You close your eyes, the battlefield's echo in your ears, screams steal your own heartbeat. You're alive, and that's enough. Tomorrow, you'll face whatever comes with your brothers at your side, and whatever's next, you'll carry this day forever. The battlefield's quiet now, a graveyard under a bruised sky. You stand, legs like stone, your shield cracked and heavy. Blood crusts your gladius, your hands, your face. Some yours, most not. The Dacians are gone, scattered or dead, their war cries just echoes. Carnuntum's legion won, but victory tastes like ash. Your contubernium's alive, Lucius, Gaius, Marcus, but the field's littered with those who aren't. You're breathing, but it doesn't feel like living. The centurion's voice cuts the silence. "Clean this mess! Move!" You flinch, the order a whip. Your body's screaming, arms numb, back knotted, a gash on your thigh burning. Lucius wipes blood from his brow, his grin gone. Gaius clutches his bandaged arm, eyes hollow. Marcus is stone-faced, his gladius already sheathed. You drop your shield, the thud loud in the stillness, and get to work. Rome doesn't care how you feel. You start with the dead. Roman bodies first, legionaries, faces you know. You find Paulus, the night watch veteran, his chest caved by a falx. His eyes stare at nothing, his spear broken beside him. You kneel, hands shaking, and close his eyes. The weight of it hits you. He was tough, kind in his way. Now he's meat. Gaius gags nearby, dragging another body. Lucius mutters, "Gods, this sucks." Marcus works silent, piling armor like it's firewood. The Dacians are next. You drag their corpses to a pit, their painted faces frozen in snarls. One's young, barely bearded, his axe still clutched. You pry it free, fingers slick with blood. He's no different from you, just another kid fighting for his side. The thought twists your gut, but you keep moving. The pit fills, bodies tangled, Roman and Dacian together. The smell's thick, blood, piss, mud. You breathe through your mouth, trying not to puke. Weapons come after. You collect gladi, pila, broken shields, even Dacian falxes, the irons heavy, stained red. Lucius salvages a dagger, tucking it in his belt. "Spoils," he says, voice flat. Gaius picks up a shattered scutum, staring like it's a puzzle. Marcus stacks pila, each one checked for damage. You find a gladius, its blade chipped but sharp. It's not yours, but you keep it. The owner's gone, and Rome recycles everything. The centurion stalks the field, barking at stragglers. "Faster, you worms! We don't sleep here!" His vine stick swings, but you're too numb to flinch. An officer counts losses, his stylus scratching wax. Your cohorts hit hard. 30 dead, more wounded. The Aquilifer stands guard, the eagle standard gleaming, untouched. It's Rome's soul, worth more than you all. You glance at it, pride and bitterness mixing. You fought for that. Men died for that. You're sent to help the wounded. A tent's set up, the air inside a mix of blood and herbs. Medics work fast, stitching gashes, setting bones. A legionary lies groaning, his leg mangled. You hold him down as the medic saws, his screams clawing your ears. Blood sprays, hot on your hands. He passes out mercifully. Gaius looks green, but he carries water, splashing it on wounds. Lucius ties bandages, joking to keep sane. Marcus brings stretchers, silent as death. A friend from training, Decius, is there, his side torn open. He's pale, breath shallow, but alive. "Hey, farm boy," he croaks, trying to smile. You grip his hand, its warmth fading. "You'll be fine," you lie. He nods, believing it. The medic shakes his head when you leave. You don't look back. The tent's a machine, chewing up hope. You stumble out, the air outside cold but clean. The Danube's glint, a cruel tease. Night falls and you're back to burning the enemy dead. You pile wood, the pyre's heat searing your face. Dacian bodies go up, flames licking fur and flesh. The stink's worse, choking you. Lucius tosses a log, muttering, "Send them to their gods." Gaius prays, his charm tight in his fist. Marcus watches the fire, eyes unreadable. You throw a branch, the crackle drowning your thoughts. This isn't glory, it's survival. The centurion calls a halt. You gather for honors, a grim ritual. The officer reads names, Paulus, Sextus, others, heroes of Rome. You stand, armor heavy, as the Aquilifer raises the eagle. Men salute, fists to chests. You copy, but it's hollow. The dead don't care, the living barely do. Lucius whispers, "We're next if we're not careful." Gaius flinches. Marcus is still, a rock in the storm. You feel the weight of their names carved into your bones. Back at camp, you clean your gear. Your gladius is dull, blood-crusted like rust. You scrape it, hands trembling, the water turning pink. Lucius polishes his shield. No jokes now. Gaius bandages his arm, wincing at every touch. Marcus oils his armor, each stroke deliberate. You eat bread, beans, tasteless. Your stomach's full, but your chest's empty. The fire's low, shadows dancing like ghosts. The centurion swings by, his face carved from stone. "You lived. Good. Don't expect medals." He tosses a wine skin, a rare mercy. You drink, the wine sour but warm. Lucius takes a swig, passing it to Gaius. Marcus sips last, silent. The fire crackles and you talk, voices low. Lucius admits he was scared, his voice cracking. Gaius says he saw his mum's face in the fight. Marcus just listens, but his eyes soften. You don't share, not yet. The blood's still too fresh. Sleep won't come. You lie on your mat, the tent dark and heavy. Lucius snores, softer than usual. Gaius clutches his charm, breathing uneven. Marcus sits by the flap, watching the camp's fires. The battle's in your head. Paulus's eyes, the Dacian kid's axe, Decius's fading grip. You killed. You lived. The weight presses your chest, heavier than your shield. You're a legionary, but tonight you're just a man, scarred and small. The camp's pulse hums, fires popping, a horse's whinny, the river's song. You think of home, your mum's bread, your dad's laugh. It's a ghost, fading fast. Here, it's blood and brothers, and you're changed. Lucius's fear, Gaius's pain, Marcus's silenced. They're your anchor. You survived, but the cost is carved in your soul. Tomorrow's new orders, maybe escort duty, maybe more fighting. The Dacians are out there, and Rome's never satisfied. You're not the boy who dreamed of glory. You're a soldier, bloodied and sharp. The fire's dying, but you're not. You'll carry this day, heavy as it is, and keep moving. You close your eyes, the battlefield's echo in your ears, screams, steel, your own heartbeat. You're alive, and that's enough. Tomorrow you'll face whatever comes with your brothers at your side, and whatever's next, you'll bear the scars together. The camps still roar from the battle, the air heavy with smoke and grief. You wake on your mat, body aching like it's been trampled. Your tent's quiet, Lucius isn't mouthing off, Gaius isn't fidgeting, Marcus isn't sharpening his blade. They're all there, though, eyes hollow from burying Paulus and the others. Your hands still feel the weight of their bodies, the blood caked under your nails. You pull on your tunic, its stink a reminder of yesterday's hell. Then the centurion's voice slices through. "You! Principia now!" You scramble up, heart kicking like a mule. The centurion's face is grim, vine stick, tapping his leg. Special assignment, he says, eyes narrowing. Don't screw it up. You nod, throat tight, and grab your gear. Polished gladius scutum, armor shining despite the battle's scars. Lucius raises an eyebrow. Fancy job, farm boy? Gaius looks worried, clutching his charm. Marcus just nods like he knew you'd get picked. You don't feel special, you feel like bait. Outside, Carnuntum's a machine grinding back to life. Fires crackle, men drill, the Danube's hum a distant pulse. You march to the Principia, its stone walls looming like a judge. Inside, it's cool and dim, smelling of wax and ink. The legate's there, a lean man with eyes sharp as a falcon's. Next to him, the governor of Pannonia, cloaked in purple, his face soft but calculating. You salute, fist to chest, trying not to shake. Legionnaire, the legate says, you're escorting the governor to a quincum. Show Rome's strength, don't embarrass us. Your gut twists. A quincum's a day's march, a city on the Danube's bend. Escorting the governor means parading your skills, marching tight, looking tough, no mistakes. It's a chance to shine, but one slip, and you're done. You nod, voice steady. Yes, sir. The legate hands you a sealed scroll, orders for the garrison. The governor smiles, but it's cold, like he's sizing up a horse. You tuck the scroll in your belt, its weight heavier than your shield. Back at the tent, you prep fast. Lucius helps buckle your armor, joking to hide his envy. Don't trip over your ego, hero. Gaius polishes your helmet, hands shaky. Be careful, he mumbles. Marcus checks your gladius, nodding at its edge. Stay sharp, he says, voice low. You feel their eyes, a mix of pride and worry. You're not just you anymore, you're their brother, carrying their name. You sling your sarcina pack, Pila strapped tight, and march out. The escort's small, 10 men, including you, plus a decurion on horseback. Your contubernium's not coming. It's you and strangers, all picked for looking the part. The governor rides in a litter, curtains drawn, slaves sweating under its weight. The decurion, a scarred man named Flaccus, glares. Form up, Testudo, on my call. No chatter, no slacking. You line up, shield locked, with a grizzled legionary named Cato. He grunts. Keep pace, kid. You nod, gripping your scutum. The march begins, boots pounding the Via Militaris, the roads packed dirt, flanked by fields and the Danube's gleam. Your armor clanks, bronze glinting in the sun. The governor's litter sways, a purple stain against the green. You march in double file, Pila ready, eyes scanning the hills. Bandits hit these routes, Dacian stragglers too. The battle's still fresh. Blood, screams, Paulus's dead eyes. You shake it off, focusing on the rhythm. Left, right, left. The first hours are easy, your training kicking in. Your pack's heavy, but you're used to it. Shoulders bruised, but strong. Cato matches your stride, his shield steady. The decurion rides ahead, barking orders. Eyes up, look like Romans. You stand taller, helmet hot on your brow. Villagers watch from their huts, kids pointing, women whispering. You're Rome's face today, not just a soldier. The pride's real, but it's fragile, one mistake from crumbling. Noon's heat, and your tunic's soaked, sweat stings your cuts. The governor calls a halt, his slaves setting up a canopy. You stand guard, shield up, while he sips wine, his rings flashing. The other legionaries get water, but you're on show. No breaks. Cato mutters, fancy bastard. You hide a smirk. The scrolls await in your belt, its wax seal pressing your hip. You wonder what it says, but you're just the messenger, not the master. The march resumes, the road climbing into hills. Your legs burn, blisters waking from the battle. A rustle in the trees stops you cold. The decurion raises a hand, and you form testudo, shields locking like a fortress. Your heart's a drum. The battle's chaos flashing, axes, blood, Gaius's scream. It's just a deer bounding away. The Decurion curses. Move! You break formation, relief souring to shame. Cato claps your shoulder. First time's rough, breathe. A quincum appears at dusk, its walls rising from the river's mist. The city's alive, torches, voices, the clang of forges. You march through the gates, the governors litter a beacon. Locals crowd the streets, cheering Rome's might. You keep your eyes forward, shield high, every step a performance. The garrison's waiting, their centurion a bull of a man. You hand over the scroll, saluting. He nods, barely. Good work, dismissed. The governor's feast is your next task. You guard the villa's entrance, a marble monster with columns like trees. Inside, music hums, laughter spills. The smell of roast lamb and wine twists your gut. You're on bread and water, standing like a statue. Merchants and senators glide past, their togas bright, eyes sliding over you. A woman smiles, her perfume sharp. You don't smile back. The Decurion's watching, and Rome's honours on your shoulders. The night's long, your legs numb, the gash on your thigh throbbing. You think of the battle, Paulus, Decius, the Dacian kid's face. This assignment's cleaner, but it's still a fight, just with different weapons. You're showing Rome's strength, not with a gladius, but with discipline, precision, pride. The thought steadies you, your shield a wall against the world. Cato shifts beside you, muttering, Almost done, kid. The feast ends and you escort the governor back to his quarters. The streets are quiet now, a quincum's pulse slowing. You march, boots echoing, the litter's slaves stumbling with fatigue. The garrison's camp is your bed, a straw pallet in a barracks. You collapse, armor clanking, too tired to strip it off. The other legionaries snore, their breath a chorus. You lie awake, the days wait, pressing your chest.
Morning comes, and you're marching back to Carnuntum. The return's quieter, no governor, just you and the escort. The Decurion's less tense, even cracking a joke about Cato's beard. You smile, but your mind's on your contubernium. Lucius's laugh, Gaius's worry, Marcus's nod. They're your home, not this parade. The road's the same, mud, hills, the Danube's glint, but you're different, sharper, prouder.
You reach Carnuntum at dusk, the fort's walls a welcome sight. The centurion's waiting, inspecting you like a hawk. Not a disaster, he grunts, a rare compliment. You report to the Principia, the legate nodding at your debrief. You did Rome proud, he says. The words hit deep, warming the cold ache in your bones. You're dismissed, and the fort's noise, hammers, shouts, mules, wraps you like a blanket. Back at the tent, your brothers are there. Lucius slaps your back, grinning. Look at the big shot. Gaius hands you bread, eyes bright. How was it? Marcus just nods, but it's enough. You eat, the bread tough but sweet, and tell them. A quincum's lights, the governor's feast, the deer that nearly killed you. Lucius laughs. Gaius listens. Marcus watches. The fire's warm, the battle's ghosts fading. Just for tonight. You lie on your mat, the tent dark and safe. Lucius snores, Gaius clutches his charm, Marcus guards the flap. The camp's alive, fire's crackling, a dog barking, the river's hum. You're a legionary, tested in blood and now in honor. This assignment showed you something. Rome's more than swords. It's pride, discipline, the weight of eyes on your back. Tomorrow's back to the grind. Drills, maybe watch duty. But today you carried Rome's name and you didn't falter. Lucius's jokes, Gaius's heart, Marcus's strength, they're why you stand tall. You're not just a soldier, you're their brother. And that's worth more than any scroll. You close your eyes, the march's rhythm in your bones. Left, right, left. The governor's voice, the crowd's cheers. They're yours now. Tomorrow, you'll fight again, march again, live again. And whatever's next, you'll face it with your brother's trust in your veins. The fort's air is thick with dust and the clang of drills, but today feels different. You wake on your mat, the tent's canvas glowing faintly with dawn. Your body's still sore from the Aquincum escort, your thighs gash a dull ache. Lucius is muttering about last night's dice game, Gaius is tying his sandals, and Marcus is cleaning his gladius, silent as ever. You pull on your tunic, its familiar stink grounding you. Then a horn blasts, sharp and urgent, followed by the centurion's growl outside. "You, Principia, now!" Your gut lurches, the centurion's waiting, vine stick still, his face unreadable. "Move, legionary," he says, voice low. You grab your gear, armor polished, gladius sharp, and follow, heart thumping like a war drum. Lucius shoots you a look, half curious, half worried. Gaius pauses, charm in hand. Marcus just nods, like he knows something you don't. The fort's alive, men marching, forges hissing, but it fades as you march to the Principia, fear and hope wrestling in your chest. Inside, the stone halls cool, smelling of ink and wax. The legate stands, his bronze cuirass catching torchlight. Beside him, the camp prefect, a grizzled man with a face like cracked leather. You salute, fist to chest, trying not to shake. "Legionary," the legate says, "your service at Aquincum caught attention. The prefect's got a job for you, straight or conscript's aid to the governor." Your breath catches. Promotion. A step up with coin and respect. But it's a tightrope, and falling's ugly. The prefect steps forward, eyes boring into you. You'll manage the governor's horses, care, tack, transport. It's not glory, it's responsibility. Fail and you're back to digging latrines. You nod, throat dry. "Yes, sir." He hands you a bronze badge, a straighter's sigil, a horse's head, small but heavy. You clutch it, its edges biting your palm. The legate's voice is final. "Report to the stables, don't shame us." You salute and leave, the badge burning a hole in your hand. Back at the tent, your contubernium swarms. Lucius slaps you hard, grinning. "Straighter, you're moving up, farm boy." His eyes spark with envy, but he's proud. Gaius stares, wide-eyed. "The governor, really?" Marcus checks the badge, then hands it back, nodding. "Good work," he says, voice soft. You feel their trust like armor, but doubt gnaws. You're a farmer's son, not some noble. Can you handle this? You pack your kit, tunic, cloak, spare sandals, and head to the barracks, your old life slipping away. The stables are a world of straw and sweat, horses snorting in their stalls. The governor's mount, a black stallion named Vindex, is your charge, its coat gleaming like polished iron. The stablemaster, a wiry Gaul named Brennus, sizes you up. "Keep him fed clean and ready," he says, tossing you a brush. "He's worth more than you." You nod, stroking Vindex's flank. His muscles twitch, eyes sharp. He's no plough horse. This is a beast for war and show. Your first task is grooming. You brush Vindex, dust rising in clouds, his manes tangled, each knot a battle. Your hands, scarred from battle, move careful but firm. Brennus watches, grunting when you don't screw up. "Not bad, kid." You clean the hooves next, scraping mud and stones. Vindex shifts, nearly crushing your foot. You jump back, heart racing. Lucius would laugh, but here, it's just you and the horse, and failure's not an option. Tacks next, saddle, bridle, reins. You polish the leather, oiling till it shines, the bits bronze, cold under your fingers. You check every strap, every buckle, remembering the legate's words, "Don't shame us." A loose rein could throw the governor, disgrace you. You tighten each piece, hands steady despite the pressure. Brennus nods, a rare approval. Keep that up, you might last. Your day's a grind, but it's different. No shield, no peeler, just hay, leather, and Vindex's steady breath. You muck stalls, the stench of dung burning your nose. You haul water, bucket sloshing, arms burning. You feed Vindex oats and barley, measuring each scoop like it's gold. The governor's schedule rules you. When he rides, Vindex must be perfect. You're no longer just a legionary. You're a link in Rome's chain, tied to power. Midday, you get a break. 10 minutes. You slump against a stall, chewing hard bread. The stables hum, horses stomping, grooms cursing, flies buzzing. You think of your contubernium, their firelit laughs. Here, it's quieter, lonelier. A groom, a kid named Tiro, offers you watered wine. Straightor, huh? Big deal. His grin's friendly, and you nod, sipping. The wine's sour, but it grounds you. You're climbing, but you're still you. The governor arrives, purple cloak fluttering. You lead Vindex out, his hooves clopping on stone. The governor's eyes flick over you, cold and quick like your furniture. You hold the reins, steady as Marcus taught you. He mounts, Vindex calm under your hand. Good, he says, the first word he's spoken to you. He rides off, aids trailing, and you exhale, pride and fear mixing. Brennus claps your shoulder. Not bad for a grunt. Your new role opens doors. Officers nod as you pass, their respect and you wait. You're invited to the prefect's mess, a step above the legion's slop. The food's better, pork, not just beans, and the wine's less watery. You sit quiet, listening to talk of campaigns, politics, coin. It's a glimpse of Rome's heart, and it's heady, but you miss your tent, Lucius's dumb jokes, Gaius's shy smile. This promotion's a gift, but it's pulling you away. Evening, you're back at the stables, checking Vindex's tack. The stallion's calm, nuzzling your hand for oats. You smile, a rare, soft moment. Brennus hands you a roster, more horses, more duties. You'll notice now, he says. Don't stop. You nod, ambition sparking. The badge in your belt feels heavier, a promise of more. You're not just surviving, you're rising, and it's addictive. Night falls and you're allowed back to your contubernium. The tent's warm, firelight dancing. Lucius pounces, stealing your bread. Big man needs his strength, Gaius asks about Vindex, eyes bright. Marcus listens, nodding when you mention the governor. You share the day, Brennus's gruff praise, the governor's cold stare. They laugh, tease, but they're proud. You're their brother, straightor or not, and that's your anchor. You lie on your mat, the tent dark and safe. Lucius snores, Gaius clutches his charm, Marcus guards the flap. The camp's pulse hums, fires crackling, a horse's whinny, the river's song. You're a straightor now, tied to Rome's power, but you're still theirs. The badge is cold in your hand, Vindex's breath still on your skin. You're climbing, but the battle's scars, Paulus, Decius, remind you how fast you can fall. Tomorrow's more stables, maybe a ride with a governor. The legion's watching and Rome's hungry for loyalty. You're not the farm boy who swore the sacramentum. You're a legionary, a straighter, forged in blood and ambition. Lucius's laugh, Gaius's heart, Marcus's strength. They're why you keep going. You're theirs and they're yours, no matter how high you climb. You close your eyes, the stable's rhythm in your bones, hooves, leather, your own heartbeat. The governor's voice, the legate's nod, they're yours now. Tomorrow you'll rise again, work again, live again. And whatever's next, you'll face it, with your brother's trust in your veins. The sun's low over Carnuntum, its light soft on the fort's weathered stones. You wake in the centurion's quarters, a small room with a cot, a chest, and a desk scarred by ink and wax. Your body is a story of pain, thigh scar a pale line, shoulders knotted from battles, hands rough as bark. The vine stick, your centurion's badge, rests on the desk, its wood worn smooth. You're not the farm boy who swore the oath, nor the optio barking orders. You're a centurion, leader of a century. But today's different. Today's your last day as a soldier. After 25 years, Rome's letting you go. You pull on your tunic, its smell of sweat and leather like an old friend. The camp's waking, horns blaring, boots crunching, fires spitting smoke. You step out, the air sharp with frost. The Danube's hum, a song in your chest. Your centuries drilling, their shields glinting. They're not your first men. Lucius, Gaius, Marcus are long gone, scattered by war or time. But these are yours, tough and loyal. You watch, pride swelling, but there's an ache too. Retirement's here, and it's a strange beast, half freedom, half loss. The legate called you in last night, his voice steady. "Centurion, your service is done," he said, handing you a scroll. "Your discharge, stamped with the emperor's seal. Land in Pannonia, a pension, citizenship confirmed." You nodded, saluting, but it felt like losing a limb. You're 45, strong but slower, your hair grey at the edges. The Legion's been your life, blood, sweat, brothers. What's left when the eagle flies away? You walk to the Principia, the fort's heart, for your final duty. The hall's cool, smelling of wax and ink, torchlight dancing on the walls. The legate's there, his bronze armor shining. The camp prefect stands beside him, face hard but kind. You salute, fist to chest, legs steady despite the ache. "Centurion," the legate says, "you've served Rome well. Your pension's set, 6,000 sesterces a year, land near Vindobona, a house, you've earned peace." He hands you another scroll, land deeds, maps, a farmstead by the river. You grip it, the parchment heavy, your throat tight. "Thank you, sir," you say, voice rough. The prefect steps up, eyes soft for once. "You led men through Dacians, bandits, worse. Rome remembers." He gives you a bronze diploma, proof of your discharge and rights. It's yours, earned in blood. Paulus's, Rufus's, your own. You salute again, the motion automatic, and leave. The fort's noise hits you outside. Hammers, shouts, the river's hum. But it's fading, like a song you can't quite hear. You're a civilian now, a veteran, and it's a strange word, sharp and empty. Back at your quarters, you pack your life. It's not much. A gladius, its hilt worn, a scutum cracked from a Dacian axe, a cloak patched 100 times. The vine stick goes in last, its weight a ghost of command. You touch the carved horse Marcus gave you, small and smooth, tucked in your belt. Your contubernium's gone, Lucius dead in a raid, Gaius retired south, Marcus missing after a battle. Their faces linger, their laughs a fire you can't touch. You sling your pack, the weight light compared to a soldier's sarcina, and head out. Your centuries waiting, lined up by the gate. They salute, fists to chests, eyes proud. You've trained them hard, testudo tight, peeler sharp, hearts tougher than iron. A young optio Titus steps up, his vine stick new. "Sir," he says, voice steady, "we'll keep the eagle high." You nod, throat tight, and clap his shoulder. "You better," you say, half smiling. The men cheer, a roar that shakes your bones. You salute back, then turn away, their voices fading as you pass the gate. The vicus greets you, its chaos a shock after the fort's order. Stalls spill with bread, fish, wine, the air thick with meat and sweat. Kids run chasing a goose, their laughs like your sister's long ago. You walk, boots on dirt, no longer a soldier's march. A baker nods, knowing your face. "Veteran now?" he asks. You nod, buying bread. Its warmth a comfort. The Vicus was always a taste of life, taverns, fights, songs, but now it's yours and it's strange, like wearing someone else's skin. You head to Vindobona, a week's walk. The road's quiet, fields golden, the Danube glittering. You carry your pack, light but heavy with memory. Marches, battles, Lucius's jokes. You pass villages, locals eyeing your scars. A farmer offers water, his hands rough like yours. "Soldier?" he asks. "Was," you say, the word bitter. He nods like he gets it. You drink, the water cold, and move on, the scrolls promise pulling you forward. Vindobona's smaller than Carnuntum, its walls low, the town alive with trade. Your land's outside, a farmstead by the river. 10 acres, a house of stone and wood, fields ready for wheat. You reach it at dusk, the house squat but sturdy, its roof tiled red. The fields stretch, soil dark and rich. A stream runs close, its gurgle soft. You stand, pack dropping, and breathe. This is yours, earned with blood, a piece of Rome you can hold. The house is empty, walls bare, smelling of dust. You set your pack down, the gladius leaning by the door. You light a fire, the crackle filling the silence. The pension's enough, 6,000 a year, plus the land's yield. You're no senator, but you won't starve. You eat bread, the taste plain but good, and sit by the fire, Marcus's horse in your hand. The camp's gone, its horns and shouts a memory. Here, it's just you, and it's quiet, too quiet. You think of your service, a long road of pain and pride. The first march, boots bleeding, Lucius's grin keeping you going. The battle, blood hot on your hands, Paulus's dead eyes. A Quincum's parade, the governor's cold nod. Strator, immunis, optio, centurion. Each step a fight, each badge a scar. You led men, buried men, loved men like brothers. Lucius's laugh, Gaius's prayers, Marcus's silence. They're your legacy, carved deeper than any scroll. The next day, you work. You plough the field, the blade biting earth, your arms strong but slow. Sweat stings your eyes, the smell of soil like home, your dad's farm, a ghost. A neighbor, an old veteran named Quintus, stops by, his limp like Paulus's. "New blood?" he asks, grinning. You nod, offering water. He shares wine, sour but warm, and talks battles, pensions, the ache of peace. "You'll miss the Legion," he says, "but this is good too." You listen, his words a mirror, and feel less alone. You build a life, slow but sure. You plant wheat, barley, a few vines for wine. The house gets a table, a chair, a bed with straw. You carve a shelf, Marcus's horse its guard. The stream gives fish, the fields promise bread. You trade at Vindobona's market, your voice steady, no longer barking orders. Locals know you, soldier, veteran, farmer. They nod, some with respect, some with pity. You don't care. This is your ground, your peace.
Nights are hard. You dream of battles, axes, screams, Rufus's blood. You wake, heart racing, the house too still. You sit by the fire, carving sticks like Marcus, the knife steady. You think of your contubernium, their faces fading but never gone. You write to Gaius, a letter scratched on wax, sent south. He writes back, his words shaky, happy, married, a kid. You smile, picturing his charm on a tiny neck. Lucius and Marcus stay silent, their fate's a wound. The pension comes, coins in a sack, enough for seed, tools, a mule. You name it Vindex, for the horse who carried you. The mule's stubborn, but you laugh, patting its flank. You're softer now, the centurion's iron melting. Kids from the village visit, wide-eyed, asking for war stories. You tell them Lucius's pranks, Gaius's courage, not the blood.
They listen, awed, and you see yourself, young and dreaming. You're their legend, a piece of Rome's glory. Years pass, your hair more grey, your step slower. The farm thrives, fields green, vines heavy with grapes. You make wine, tart but yours, shared with Quintus by the fire. The house is home, walls warm with memory. You build a shrine, small and stone, for your brothers Lucius, Gaius, Marcus, Paulus, Rufus. You leave bread, wine, a prayer. The gods listen or they don't, but it's for them your heart's anchor. You think of legacy, what you'll leave. No wife, no kids. War took that time, but the land's yours, a mark on the world. You teach the village boys to plough, to fight with sticks, to stand like Romans. They call you centurion, half joking, but it fits. Your service built Rome, roads, forts, blood, and now you build here a quieter strength. The eagle's gone, but its shadow's in your bones. One night you sit by the stream, stars bright, Marcus's horse in your hand. The water sings, the camps hum, a distant echo, fires, horns, Lucius's laugh. You're not that boy, scared and soft. You're a veteran, scarred and proud. Your brothers are gone, but they're here. In the land, the wine, the stories you tell. You served Rome, gave it your youth, your blood. Now you've got peace, hard won and sweet. You lie on your bed, the house warm, the fire low. The camp's gone, but its pulse lingers. Vindex's bray, Quintus's laugh, the stream's song. You're a farmer, a friend, a memory of Rome. Tomorrow you'll plough again, trade again, live again. And whatever's next, you'll face it with your brother's fire in your heart.